For instance, bringing in Alistair Cook at the top to partner Phil Mustard. Otherwise, there are batting orders familiar there. Bell, Peterson, Collingwood, Shah. Bapara came in, no Mascarenas, and the rest of the bowling attack the same as in those 2020s. For New Zealand, Chetan Patel came back in. Danny Vittoria, the captain, came back in, having been injured during those 2020s. Oram fit again as well. So one or two changes there. It was England who won the toss, decided to bat first. As we know now, it didn't quite work for them, but here's a look at how it did go.
England are on the way.
Not quite out the middle of the bat. Got 2 runs for it.
Big appeal around the wicket. End of the over. Not out. England 2 without loss.
Never easy to get a decision from around the wicket. The left-hander. Well, the captain's moving all right. Good stop there from mid-off. Had a bit of work to do in these first 4 overs.
Well, he's in the firing line there at mid-off. Know that they're a depleted team, New Zealand, but every time you come here, you will see a really good fielding side. Pride themselves on the fielding, ability of the team. Some youngsters in the side. Oh, they're going through. Bit of indecision from these two.
Well, it was a single. I think he's just saying he didn't hear the call, Alistair Cook. Just wonder if he's guilty of watching where the ball went. Can happen in one-day cricket.
Excellent fielding again.
It cheers bowlers up, that kind of fielding. It's a bit of a hiding to nothing in one-day cricket. These conditions, so this kind of fielding, excellent.
Well, I'll just go back to the 2020s, and that's one area that you're always, or I'm always looking at England, how much energy, how mobile. I thought they were excellent. They were really, really good. Because they'll have to go some to match this New Zealand side. New Zealand, wherever you go, you might say, well, it's depleted, they've not got the best batters or bowlers, but they'll field well. Very athletic team. Diving in. He got an early call there. Mustard just into the offside. Hit and run. Just left Cook a little.
I think he got home.
Boundary for England. The slip has been moved wider and wider and wider. Mustard just opens the face, lines the ball down to a vacant area.
Now, is this intentional? Base of the bat, it opens.
It was half an appeal. That's all it is. It's 19 without loss.
Inside edge will bring 4. Touch of good fortune for Mustard. It's 27 without loss. Edged, and McCullum gets a palm to it, or maybe just a finger end. Flying to his left, couldn't hang on. And it's a let-off for Cook. To really wait for that. Gosh, he had to wait for that. And he still couldn't get it past cover point.
Pace was taken off it by Martin on that occasion. He, like the other New Zealanders, have been using that variation quite well. See it dropping down below 75 kilometres an hour. Miles per hour, I should say. Sorry, we use kilometres per hour only in New Zealand, Walter.
Yeah.
I'll get up to speed on that.
All gone. Good bowling from Martin. Just nipped it back into Cook. I think it brushed the pad on the way through. But Cook has gone, made 11 from 26 balls and never really looked settled. And Martin has put him out of his misery.
Good reward for excellent perseverance in terms of line and length. Just went through the gate. Again, it didn't come on, and Cook was searching, but he left a little hole, and Chris Martin went right through it. Cook gone for 11, 34 for 1.
Oh, there's trouble here. Bell on the run out, Jinx. He's set off, been sent back, slipped, dropped his bat. Oh, that's a good shot off the front foot. The first boundary in front of the wickets for England. First boundary for Bell.
Yes, good stroke, and then he made the right choice of going up and over the inner ring. He didn't try and hit it down. Used a bit of bounce that Chris Martin provided him. It's the first real loose ball. Good stroke. He kind of went and met it early. Martin in his 6th over, 1 for 17.
Just the boundary off the over. 40 for 1 England. Big appeal from behind the stumps. Keeper and slip. Nothing from the bowler. Going down the leg side, I'm sure.
Good release from Oram. He's a good bowler.
Inside edge, onto stumps. After a boot change that did him no good at all, Bell has gone for 5.
Yeah, slower ball as well. Just 70 miles an hour. And maybe just didn't quite have the concentration turned on fully. You'll see that a lot today, or maybe 1 or 2 times, because of the slow nature of the pitch. It's a dog of a pitch, and you go through your shot, you're not there. The inside edge comes into play. So Bell has gone for 5 from 16 balls. England struggling, 42 for 2.
Got him. Found a way through. That is a vital blow. And you can sense that New Zealand in the field have enjoyed themselves more and more as this first innings of the day has developed. 55 for 3 it is now. Kevin Pietersen, one of the big guns in this England side, one of the biggest guns, has managed to drag it on off the inside edge onto the top of the pad, back onto the stumps, and he's gone for 6.
Well, you always know it's a slow pitch when you have a couple of drag-ons. Bell went with a drag-on inside edge. Kevin Pietersen follows. He's gone for 6. England 55 for 3.
Oh, slice of luck. It's 4 runs for Collingwood. Between the keeper and slip, neither of them had any chance, it seems, of getting there. 65 for 3.
In the air, just past the diving mid-wicket. Ross Taylor, I think, at mid-wicket, who's a brilliant fieldsman. And another one. Phil Mustard goes. He struggled away. And this time looking to work Scotty Styris across the line into the leg side. England have lost their 4th wicket.
I don't think New Zealand could ask for a better wicket to start the series with. They're comprehensively beaten in the 2 2020s, which outplayed by a better side. Here we've got a slow pitch. Guys are rolling their fingers over the ball. Scotty Styris is doing it more times than not as a seamer. Chris Martin did it. And that wicket there is a common theme, Mathers. It just seems English players are trying to get their hands through the ball. The slowness of the pitch, a little bit of turn, a little bit of nip, so it's causing them some problems.
Shot for none. Of wrist work in always Shah's play. Down the pitch and rocketing the ball past Vettori. That was hit hard.
Well, Shah's an excellent player of spin, and watching him already, he's very positive with his feet. Good depth in the crease. This one here coming to meet the ball.
Catch it! Just short of Chris Martin. Looking again to work the ball into the onside, not finding it easy, mistiming it in the air for a long, long time. Martin was way deep on the boundary and couldn't make the ground. Oh, trouble, trouble! Is he gone? Has he got his bat down in time? Throw wasn't brilliant, it was a little bit wide. Asad Rauf has called for the replay. Paul Collingwood doesn't like it, don't think, judging by his reaction. But he got the dive in and he got his bat down early. Has he made his ground?
Oh, it's a brilliant piece of fielding. They seem nonplussed about it. But they should be, because he's short. Looking at the New Zealanders, they're not interested. In fact, they will be in about 5 seconds time, 10 seconds time when the red light comes on, because that's a fantastic piece of fielding and a huge wicket. Collingwood, a key wicket. He's played so well.
New Zealand can't believe it. They've gone walking back to their marks as if they thought Paul Collingwood had easily made his ground. He's inches short, and all of a sudden out came up on the screen, and a look of surprise on the New Zealand fieldsmen's faces is only matched by the look of disappointment now on the England captain's face. Collingwood run out for 12, and England 5 down for 80, 26 overs gone, in a good deal of trouble.
Pulled away, there is a man in the deep, straight to him, he's gone. What a death, a drag down ball from Styris, one man to find, and Ravi Bopara finds Fulton.
In the leg trap, you would say. He can't believe it. What have I done? Pulls a very inviting delivery away into the leg side. One fielder at deep square leg doesn't really have to move. 2 metre Peter, Big Pete Fulton is out there. It's an off cutter again. He drags it down. Looks as if it's 4 or 6 all the way. Now he's in trouble. Pete Fulton doesn't move. Thank you very much from him. Deep trouble for England. 91 for 6, Bopara 3.
It's close, long way down. That's why he'll get away with it. Could be a trouble at the non-striker's end if he hits. Double play at both ends. LBW probably just sneaking down. Direct hit, and I think Swan was gone.
England are looking dorsey at times. They're at 6s and 7s with the pitch. They're at 6s and 7s with the fielders as well. It's a massive appeal. Look at Swan, turns round, looking where the ball is. He's been called through for a single. Oh, out by a furlong.
Yes.
End of the over, 96 for 6.
Well, let's look again at that LBW shout. He's a long, long way down. Graham Swan turns to get back into his ground. It's a huge LBW, and then he watches the ball. He's got a call from his partner. He's going back into his ground. Shah's actually called him through. You can see Shah coming into picture. He says, hang on, no. Shah says, there's a single there any day. Out by a distance.
Finds the gap. Will it rush away for 4? Gives chase, there's a dive. The dive was a bit early, and England finally have their 6th boundary. 100 comes up. Could be tight again. That looks very close. Great fielding from backward point. Swans heads down. Jamie Howe with the fielding, and we're going to go upstairs again for the 3rd umpire.
But they look like they've got the man this time, New Zealand. Jumps down and turns back. Sharp return. Oh, I'm certain this is a goner. We'll see it from a different angle. Swan diving back in to no avail. That's another. Swan will know soon enough. The crowd will know soon enough. New Zealand also. England are in desperate trouble. Drinks, come on. 3rd umpire Billy Bowden wants another look. Well, it's pretty conclusive, and we're all going to find out right now. England are 7 down. Always look that way. Excellent in the field. New Zealand, brilliant performance from them. Swan 7, 103 for 7.
That's close, round the wicket. Just outside the line, I think. Styris cannot believe it.
I think this is a really good decision. Going to be pumped up out there, New Zealand, and certainly will appeal. Local umpire Gary Baxter will have a look at this. I think he's just outside the line of off stump, playing a shot. There's that off-cutter grip again.
Oh, I tell you what, is there another one? Is there another run out here? It's going upstairs, and the New Zealanders are confident. And this time it looks like Shah could be out of his ground. Don't think there's any could be about it, David.
No, once again, the fielding has been very, very sharp. It's always been a mark of Kiwi sides, black cap sides, New Zealand sides. And you've seen them grow in confidence, I think, through the day. New Zealand might have thought originally when they had to field first they were at a slight disadvantage, but throughout this innings they've just grown sharper and sharper. The throws have been good. Look at that, it's right by the stumps. McCullum only has to take it and shift the gloves an inch or two. Up come the bails. But we got there in the end. It is out. It's the 3rd run out of the innings. And England now officially 8 down for 104.
Oh, just evaded fine leg. That would have capped it all if that had flown down into the hands of fine leg.
Boundary for England for 9 overs. Coming courtesy of a rare bouncer from Jacob Oram. Well, just had to be careful, make sure that that trailing leg didn't knock the bails off.
Oh, I think that's a nick, but it's a biggish nick. That's why McCullum can hang on to it.
Definite edge, wasn't it? Turned a bit. Big thick edge.
I think that one might be out. It's a little leading edge. The gentlest of caught and bowls you will ever see. The 9th wicket goes down.
This consulate Ryan Sidebottom departs. A very tame dismissal, a weak way to go really if you're a tail ender facing an off spinner. Looking back you'd think, well, why didn't I have a go at that? But it did spin, it just stuck in the pitch a little bit, And Jeetan Patel is a bigger spinner of the ball than Daniel Vettori. He's got one to grip in the pitch there. Taken the return catch. England 120 for 9 now. And that'll do. Jeetan Patel is appealing for an LBW. I don't think he realised that the ball had snuck through and bowled the last man. England's innings has come to a close for 130. It's well short of their expectations, and they've not managed to see out the 50 overs either.
Again, quicker ball, push through. Knows that Jimmy Anderson's trying to get the ball somewhere just to get the strike back to Stuart Broad. Outthought by the bowler. Stuart Broad did well. He's undefeated on 18. Jimmy Anderson, the last man to go.
So that's what it was, 130 as a final total for England, just a couple of balls short of their full 50. Unbelievably in many ways. Top score of the innings just 31 by Phil Mustard at the top of the order. They never got going. New Zealand, to their credit, bowled excellent lines, fielded beautifully. Those run-outs, those 3 run-outs, cost England dear as well. It was a mixture there of schoolboy error and great fielding that led to them. So 130. Just look at the bowling figures, and that also tells a story. No one at all expensive. Mills the most expensive at just 3 runs per over. Martin bowled beautifully, picked up those couple of wickets. Oram and Styris just stymied everything in the middle, and the spinners at the end, well, they also bowled very, very nicely, very tightly. So a very good performance of the ball and a very good performance in the field in general terms. So New Zealand now know what they need. 131 runs it is to win this game. They've got plenty of time, all those 50 overs at their disposal. Asking rate just over 2.5 runs.
And there's some late swing there. Good signs for side bottom.
Yeah, 12 wickets in the 5 matches against Sri Lanka for Ryan Sidebottom. Only once going for 50, I believe, and really has led this one-day attack very nicely for England. One of the keys on getting a good start.
Yeah, very quickly he's become the linchpin of the attack, really, the bowler to whom the captain turns. He needs a wicket or when he needs a tight spell. It's amazing how quickly he's taken that mantle on. More late movement, and at the moment Ryder looking uncertain outside that off stump. James Anderson then with the second over of the innings, and McCullum straight away down the pitch signalling his intentions. Thickish outside edge brings him just a single. I think we saw there very clearly what Brendan McCullum will be about in these opening overs.
Certainly. He loves to walk down the pitch.
Edged again down to third man. Another single. Looking to hit that over extra cover. Wow. That must have been close. At first I thought there was an inside edge onto the stumps. The inside edge went onto the pad and they've been far away.
Very strange, wasn't it? Carrying through to the keeper in the end. It was a big inside edge. Top of the pad, straight over the middle stump.
It's connected this time. Well, not maybe quite out of the middle of the bat, but it's good enough, and it'll bring New Zealand their first boundary.
Yeah, as you said, not out of the middle completely, but enough to get over the mid-on fieldsman. Bat turned in his hands a little bit. Key there was he got more the length he was looking for from side bottom.
Not a pretty stroke, it must be said, but it's mighty effective. Jesse Ryder joining in the fun. That's gone all the way for 6.
Well, he's just chipped this, Jesse Ryder. The timing was superb. Not a full swing of the bat by any stretch, and that has sailed away into the grandstand.
Just a flick of the wrist, you're right. Powerful lad. Straight down the ground and hard. Lovely shot, probably the shot of the innings so far.
Yeah, good shot, Brendan McCullum. Again, the length that he's been looking for. No swing there, James Anderson. Good timing.
Over the offside this time. That's beautifully hit. I'm not sure whether it's gone all the way. It hasn't. Asad Rauf signals a 4, but it was a magnificent stroke.
Well, that's what I talk about with Jesse Ryder. He is not one-dimensional. He is not across the line mid-wicket player. He's hit through that ball beautifully. He really has. Just superb timing. It's only 2 or 3 yards from going for 6 over extra cover.
Big shout, but I think McCullum was a long way forward. It hit the top of the flap of the pad as well.
Was a long way forward. He took a long way out of the crease, Brendan McCullum. Benefit of the doubt there, going his way.
It's away down to Anderson at third man. Must be slightly disconcerting for Ryan Sidebottom to see McCullum just charging so early. I'm surprised he hasn't slipped him a bouncer yet. Shorter from Sidebottom, whopped away on the leg side by Jesse Ryder. He didn't quite get hold of it. Just had enough legs to get over Alistair Cook at mid-on, brings him a couple. It ends the 7th over, and New Zealand are 26 for none.
Well, McCullum has kept moving pretty much all the way through this innings. And from the bowler's point of view, Anderson and Sidebottom, they've had to keep a sharp eye on him. See what he's going to do next.
They've shown intent, haven't they, the New Zealand batsmen? They've said to the England bowlers, we're not going to just wait, we're not going to let you settle in. You've plenty to think about. I don't think it would have made any difference whether it was batting first or second. They'd have played the same way, these two.
And again, the big shot. It's an edge, but it's as effective as the middle of the bat. Slid away to third man. Slid fine to the fielder. That's 4 runs. Yes, they're not going to die wondering, are they?
Well, chance your arm. It's your day. Comes off, you get away with it. Yeah, I just wonder whether England will reflect and think, we didn't really try any of this early on. We allowed New Zealand to bowl to us. We dug a hole for ourselves, and then we just kept digging. That's nicely played. That's going to go all the way as well. Quite deliberately played. That backward square leg region. Those is a man, a deep square. He's gone for the finer option. 37 without loss.
Very well struck, powerfully struck. Just a little bit short of a length, just enough bounce there for Ryder to get it away on the onside, play through the line, drag it away there. And they're enjoying it.
Well, the other worrying thing is, a good shot, steps forward, it's on the top of the bounce. England managed 7 fours in the entire innings. New Zealand already hit 6 fours and a 6. Consequently, 42 without loss from 8.3 overs.
Much more effort from Ryan Sidebottom. Quick bouncer. And Ryder, for all his talents, was never onto that.
No, it was in the keeper's gloves before he completed the shot. Well through him. And for pace.
Well, he's still swinging away, aiming for that leg side. We've had one out of the meat of the bat. One bouncer too quick for him. And that one slid underneath this time.
Yeah, it died, didn't it? Just dies in the pitch.
Oh dear. Oh dear. It's put down. Graham Swan at short mid-wicket. He's pretty close there, and it was pretty well struck, but it's one of those ones that have to stick.
Well, should be taken. There's no excuse for this. Yeah, it's clipped away well, but both should be taken.
Just that look tells you everything. He knows that too. A little bit low with the bounce again. If Ryder had got hold of it, well, there is a man just in front to square on the boundary there.
He had a long look at the pitch here, didn't he? He expected this to bounce a lot more. Just got over the off stump. Mustard taking this around his ankles.
Enthusiastic appeal from Stuart Broad. No response from the umpire.
I think it's a good decision. I think it's just drifting down the leg side. Just swings a bit here. Gary Baxter. Just sliding down the leg side for me. Very good decision.
That's gone a long way up, and it's also got a lot of distance on it. It's gone a long way back into the crowd, over wide, long on. And without too much effort, it seemed, either.
Good timing, this. Intense there, but he's got to get it right, and he does. This is spot on. Right out the middle of the bat.
Really good balance in the shot. Quick hands. And enough weight into the shot to get it going a long, long way there.
All that well. So Ryder coming to him, change the pace, flatter delivery, push through.
Beautifully controlled shot, beautifully played shot too. The timing was exquisite with that.
Absolutely, that's what this is about. It's timing. Outside the off stump. So it's playing the shot from out there. It'll always go squarer. And behind square, this time so well he can't get round.
Somewhat over-ambitious this time. It was much too wide of off stump. And Ryder missed it comfortably. 58 without loss now. Up it goes, just dropped short. didn't have the carry on it. Anderson was down there at third man. It dropped a good 5 or 6 yards in front of him.
Slow ball, attempted. Ball was a leg cutter. Probably the lack of pace in the delivery. Falls short of third man. Frustration.
Oh, a bit of confusion, and where New Zealand were excellent in the field and engineered run-outs, England have missed a chance there.
Mustard does well here, just misses.
And that's been launched into the air, but it's only succeeded in finding the man. And the luck has changed a little bit for England here. Ryder has slightly miscued that. Replays the shot as he leaves the field, but he is now gone for 31. And New Zealand have lost their first wicket at 61.
Yeah, I think he gets a little high on the bat. Seems to hang in the wind. Luke Wright does well, judges it well. Makes it look quite comfortable in the end. But England have got a breakthrough. Still 70 needed for victory. Jess Ryder's gone for 31 from 50 balls. It's 61 for 1.
Oh, it was a brilliant effort. Very quick reactions initially from Phil Mustard. That looked to have come off the inside edge, bobbled up off the pad. And it was very quickly out of the traps, but it just wouldn't stick for him.
Well, I think he catches it until he hits the ground. It's one of those that goes in, takes off, and then watch, he's got it, but then as the arms hit the ground, the ball springs out.
And that's over the top of mid-off. One bounce and over the boundary as well. 4 more. And it's 66 for 1.
Bouncer pulled away, square legs, very square. That goes fine. 4 more to McCullum. He moves to 40.
Well, it's variation from Collingwood, the captain. Most of what he's bowled so far has just been full and slow. That was quick and short, and McCullum saw it quickly.
Could be a catch, looks like a bit of glove. Yes, he's gone. McCullum turned his back on the umpire. I think he knew it. A good take from Mustard, and maybe that's what England need. McCullum's gone.
Frustrated, I think. Brendan McCullum, I think he got a bit of glove on this. It was a fairly half-hearted appeal, it has to be said, from Broad and Mustard. Difficult to tell from that angle whether it was hip or glove. Doesn't matter now, it's in the scorebook as caught Mustard, bowled Broad. McCullum has gone for 42 from 42. New Zealand 83 for 2.
This will be tight at the non-striker's end. The dive gets him home, but England again miss the stumps. They do that too often. A good over from Broad. 3 runs on the wicket, 84 for 2.
Pulled away powerfully with a welcome boundary. Just knocking these off bit by bit, New Zealand.
A good shot from Jamie Howe, and he is very strong on anything short. That's why he's found himself with a good record. The 16 one-day internationals. He can score off both front and back foot. Very traditional player. Nothing strange about the way he plays, but effective, both feet.
Massive appeal. And almost a second appeal from England. Sadroth unmoved. Just wonder whether it's sliding down leg side. It's a ball of full length. He's just got a touch of slide to it. Look at the keeper. He's just drifting down the leg side.
Yeah, he's got a tendency, Ross Taylor, to play around that front pad. He doesn't take a big stride. He backs his hand-eye coordination and tends to play around his pad, just prop forward. And is susceptible to LBW.
Just about reached it, but did it effectively. Finished off with an awful delivery. Clattered away for 4. It's 95 for 2. Welcome back. And more of the same. 4 overs, none for 25. Make that 4.1, none for 29.
Well, I get the feeling it's not his day. Really well controlled pull stroke this. In front of square. Good example of how to play that stroke from Howe.
Gets this away. The par, it's 4. 24 have been bowled. It's 105 for 2. Oh, big shot. Big shot. Way, way back. In this enormous cake tin. It's 118 for 2. Icing on the cake, if you like. Jamie Howe moves on to 24. Big shot. Taylor hits this. Gets all of it. Oh, it's just right as well. Great length.
It's only a matter of time before he lined one of those up. That's where he looks to hit the spinners. He's got tremendous hand speed, has Ross Taylor. He's a strong lad, he's an athlete, but he's got magnificent hands and he just gets them through the ball.
Pulled away. Oh, strongly. To the leg side. Rockets to the boundary.
Really, for Sidebottom, I don't see a future in bowling this length to Jamie Howe. He's already played a couple of spanking examples, and look at that. Swiveled, got up on his toes, got over the top of it, rolled the wrist, kept it down, no chance of being caught, and timed it.
Well, that is something for the memory bank for England, that this Jamie Howe, very comfortable on the back foot. That's better. Big outside edge. That's the place for anybody usually, full of length, drifting across, outside edge, keeper does the rest.
It's a disappointing dismissal here for Howe because he was playing so well, he got himself in. He would have desperately wanted to have seen himself through to the end. Scored himself a red inker, you could say, but it was never there to drive. Perhaps the shorter balls he was playing them well and pushed him back. Never there to drive. He flirted at it and he got the outside edge. Perhaps there's still some open there. They're applauding it. Well, the crowd's applauding that effort from Howe. He's out for 28. It's 122 for 3.
Threaded through. Threaded through all the way. 5 to win.
No matter what the situation, there's always time and room for a nice cover drive. Just pushed into the gap. All the skills of cricket, a lovely head position, placement, timing, controlled flow of the cricket bat.
In the air, high in the air, deep fine leg, another wicket for England. Side bottom the catcher. Broad gets another trick.
And it's a duck for Styris. And you can expect a very grumpy man when he gets back into the changing shed. And if I was Jamie Howe, I might just vacate the premises right now. Styris came in with not many runs to score and he hasn't contributed. He's been well caught in the deep by Sidebottom, but he is out for the dreaded duck in a no-win situation. 127 for 4.
Big appeal, he's outside the line, he's outside the line. Good rapport there between Stuart Broad, where he backs to the umpire. You can see that he's playing a shot and he moves so far across. Ross Taylor, it's way outside the stumps, the line of the stumps. Well, that'll do, but I don't think he wants to see it again, Ross Taylor. New Zealand at a canter. Terrific comeback after their ordeal in the 2020s. Brendan McCullum showed the way at the top of the innings. It's Ross Taylor that's finished it off. Game is over and done and dusted after 30 overs. New Zealand looking good today.
Well, New Zealand had 20 overs to spare when they got to 131 for 4. Taylor and Fulton, the not-out men at the end. But Ryder and McCullum had set the tone at the start of the innings, positive with the bat, positive with their intent, and by the time they were parted, New Zealand were well on their way to victory. So a successful day in the field, followed by a successful night with the bat. For England in the field, it wasn't quite the same story. One or two men a little bit too expensive there. Anderson for one at 7s, Swan at the best part of 6s. Broad was probably the pick of them. 3 wickets for 26 from his 9 overs. He showed notable spirit in a losing cause there. His economy, 2.89. But England always knew that in the field here they needed a lot of luck if they're going to restrain New Zealand, and it wasn't going to happen. So the final analysis, New Zealand winning this first of 5 one internationals by 6 wickets with 20 overs left. And at the end of it all, Paul Allott spoke to all the major players.
Yeah, thanks, David. I've got the England captain alongside me. Paul, I guess that's one of those evenings, afternoons you just want to forget about and put it away and say, right, it didn't really happen to us.
Yeah, in many ways, yeah. I mean, it's obviously been a good week for us with the 2020s. Came into this game with full of confidence, and it didn't really happen for us today with the bat, and that was disappointing. You know, it was a wicket that obviously I won the toss on, and it looked a nice hard wicket that would come through, and it was pretty much the opposite, to be honest with you. And obviously difficult to score on. They bowled and fielded very, very well, and obviously with a few run-outs as well, it didn't help our cause. So obviously we didn't get enough runs on the board. I think if we got up towards maybe 200, it might have been defendable on that kind of a wicket, but we were always chasing the game.
It can be easy to misread these drop-in pitches because there's no real history to them, but once you'd sussed out that it was going to be slow and low, batting didn't really adapt, did it?
Yeah, you could say that. I think that's obviously an area that we're going to have to look at. We got off to a decent start. I think we were something like 40 off the first 10 overs, only 1 wicket down, I think, and you know, it's not a bad start on a wicket like that, but from that point, really, we didn't really get any kind of a partnership going. As I said, they put us under a lot of pressure. Styris came on, bowled wicket to wicket, and we found them hard to get away. But that's something that obviously we're going to have to talk about in the dressing room and hopefully put right when we come up against a wicket like that again.
And what about the running between the wickets?
Yeah, obviously when you lose three wickets to run out, it's again, it's disappointing. Bit of a misunderstanding there, but their fielding was exceptional. You know, they were diving around and getting to balls that we obviously didn't think they were going to get to, and really good throws there. So, you know, another disappointing area, but there's still a lot of positives to take out. Come on, we've had a good week with the 2020s, and we've had some great results recently with the one-day form of the game, and today, as you said, put to bed, and hopefully we'll come out better next time.
Daniel's here, happy Daniel as well. It's a good return for you and a good return for the side.
Yeah, I think we understood we were under a little bit of pressure after our performances in the 2020 games, but we responded today in emphatic fashion, and I know the dressing room's pretty happy at the moment.
Yeah, some of the local media was quick to write you off after those 2 2020 losses.
Normally only takes 1, so took 2 this time around, but we responded in the only way we could, and the fielding and bowling performance we put up today on a wicket that suited us is something that we're probably a little bit more adept at it than the English. They may not come across those wickets as much as we do, so we made the most of that, made the most of the conditions, and put a performance that was a winning one.
Did this pitch surprise you, the way it played?
Well, it's the first time we played on the drop-in here, but the nature of the stadium wicket has been like this in the past. But we would have batted first, and we would have thought a score of around 230, 240 would have been competitive. So to restrict them to 130 was outstanding, really.
The Come on, you've come back as captain. What did you say to the guys in the last 24 hours after that 2020 performance?
I said ignore everything that Brendan said over the last couple of weeks. It was just a case of picking ourselves up. I think we're at our best when we try and enjoy our cricket, and the only way you can show that really is in the field. And I thought the way that guys like Ross Taylor and Jamie Howe led us in the field today set a tone for the day, and we continued it with the ball and with the bat as well.
I think the key word was pressure, wasn't it? Pressure with the ball and then pressure in the field.
Yeah, and I think that's what England did to us in the two 2020 games. They put good scores on the board and then just bowled exceptionally well. And we flipped the script a little bit today and just kept putting pressure on them. They couldn't maintain partnerships through run-outs and through good bowling.
And what about the batting as well? It was basically the plan to go out there and attack from the very first ball.
Yeah, we've got two aggressive openers, and they like to chase down small scores. I think teams, when they get in trouble with small scores, is they're 10 for 2, 15 for 3, and we wanted to make sure that we got those first 50 runs under our belt reasonably quickly, and the guys went out there and played aggressively, and it came off.
How's your fitness now?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. I was pleased to get through today. I think myself and Jacob really needs to get back out on the park just to help the team out in terms of experience and also our performance. So got a couple of days rest before Hamilton, so we should be fine.
Has this victory levelled the series out quite nicely? I mean, there were people talking about a whitewash for England. It's going to be nothing like that now.
No, I don't think so. I think anyone who follows the game and follows the two teams knew they'd be pretty competitive, and it's going to be a tight one-day series. We've been a good one-day team for a long time, and England are on the rise as a one-day side. So we weren't expecting to thrash them, and I think if you talk to Paul as well, he wouldn't have said the same thing. So 3-2 result was always in our sort of mind, and we're lucky that we've got the first one under our belt.
Are you settling into the captaincy now, because you're still relatively inexperienced at international captaincy?
Yeah, I suppose I'm enjoying it. You always enjoy your wins. It's just realising how encompassing the nature of the job is. It's 24/7, but when plans come off and things go well, it's the easiest job in the world. When it's not that way, it's the hardest job in the world. So I'll enjoy it while it's easy.
That was a fine performance by everybody in the New Zealand side, but I think you set the tone with the new ball.
Yeah, I suppose that's the role I've got at the moment, trying to sort of lead the way with the ball first up, and I think I was pretty happy with how that went today, and everybody followed it pretty well as well.
Did the pitch take you by surprise? Because there wasn't really much pace and bounce in it at all, was there?
No, and watching the ball come through as an opening bowler around the wicketkeeper's knees is never fun, but I suppose it gave them less pace to hit, and if you hit your lines and your lengths pretty well, then they didn't seem to have a plan B today.
Now, you were strangely shy of getting wickets against Bangladesh in the last one-day series, but you got some today.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I've got an average in the mid-40s for one day, so I've got to bring that down by taking a few wickets. So I'm glad to add a few today.
Yeah, the drag-ons, that's a sign of the pitch not having an awful lot of pace and bounce in it. So did you set your stall out just to bowl at a steady length?
Yeah, without giving them anything to get under, really, and bowling quite straight. Not a style of bowling I'm used to, but I gave it a go today, and I think most of the people who bowled after me, guys like Scott and Daniel, were pretty much the same, just mixed up their pace and kept it pretty straight.
Huge turnaround after the 2020s, because people were starting to write this New Zealand side off.
It's, the media is a tough beast to keep control of, so for us to turn that momentum that they had around this first game of the series is very important for us. So we'll be pretty pleased and heading into the next game as well.
Discipline was the key with your bowling, but the fielding was spectacular as well.
Yeah, we've got some pretty good athletes in the ring, and I think any of the momentum that was helped with the ball was sort of backed up in the field, and pretty much those run-outs stopped them from going anywhere, so very happy.
Yeah, Chris, you've got the mantle now of New Zealand's leading bowler with the retirement of Shane Bonds. How's that sitting with you?
It's probably more comfortable in the white clothing. In the one-day outfit, I'm still getting to grips with running in and opening the bowling, so that's something that I'll work on over the next series. But yeah, with the red ball in my hand, I feel pretty comfortable with it.
Stuart, that was a disappointing afternoon and evening for England, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. We put in some good work during the 2020s, and we didn't sort of carry that on today. But we're going away tomorrow and Monday and training hard and making sure we hit the ground running on Tuesday.
Hard work for the bowlers when you've got such a small total to bowl at, isn't it?
It was, yeah, but it was a difficult wicket to bat on. It was very slow. We found cutters worked nicely, and as I say, I think 170 would have been quite a competitive score, really.
When you start to bowl on a pitch like that, do you have a fixed plan in your mind, just because you've seen how the others bowl on it and how the guys batted on it, or do you come out and bowl normally to start with just to see how that goes?
Well, I think we've got two very dangerous swing bowlers up front. Jimmy and Sid swing it sort of naturally and are very dangerous when it swings. So I think we've got to give it a chance to swing early doors. But we're quick to recognise that cutters and slower balls and taking the pace off the ball is a lot harder. It wasn't our day today, but hopefully Tuesday we'll come back fighting.
Yeah, you were out there at the end with the bat in your hand as well for quite a bit. You had a dozen overs or so to bat. Enjoy batting?
Yeah, I love batting. I've been working hard on it with Morsey and Andy. I know it's a big part of the game now, and I need to improve and try and push that forward. I knew we had to bat the overs out and try and sort of take it as far as we could and try and get up to 130, 140. But sadly, it wasn't enough today.
And the wickets were a nice bonus for you.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I've been working on cutters and different slower balls ever since Sri Lanka, really. Coming up on slow wickets, you've got to have that sort of skill. So it was pleasing the work